It is GP final day at Abu Dhabi and we are fighting for P1 as always. And we've done 4 races, we've got 186 points, and sadly we dropped 2 points in Australia because of a tough matchup and the fact that Australia is Australia. It's notoriously difficult. And this group this week is going to be difficult as well. So we've got a few of our old nemesis in here, and we've also got one of our most likely nemesis that we get. So we've got Music Man. He hasn't started yet, but he smashed the opening round. And I've also got Ibon in here as well. But I've also got a new addition with PQB, and he did okay, but he's got a lot of decent medals. So one to keep an eye out on him. And then we've got Ibon in here as well. So it's going to be a very interesting set of sort of final round. And let's see what we can do. We've got race 5 and it's Silverstone. Race 5, Silverstone, and I think it's a human matchup with a very decent player of Music Man's club. So this is going to be a very, very tough race. And let's see where we qualify. So we're up against it, P5 and P9. And matchmaking this weekend just has not been our friend. So here we go. We're going to use, when I find it, a tune-in. And we're also going to go Max Verstappen with the dead fast and doing 4 laps. It's going to be tricky. We're going to give it a go. That's what we always do. So I believe it is a real player. I believe it is the real Sasha. And here we go, lights out and away we go, and it is the real Sasha from F1 Manager Route. And here we go, as we settle down into the race, and he's gone Eagle, and we've got P3 and P4, and we're going to keep on pushing at the moment, and we'll give a good look. So we settle down, P3 and P4, and the rival's going to be good on tyres, but we're going to be quick in the pit stops, and it's so hard to overcome a bad matchup when we're up against it, and also a human player. So let's see where we can go from here and see if we can catch the opponent up. But we're going to give it a best. That's all we do. And at the end of the day, guys, whatever matchups you get, that is just part and parcel of the game. It happens. We can't do anything about it anymore. That's for certain. So the rival's well gone in front, P1. And we are still chilling out in P3 and P4. Rival pits at lap 2. So we're going to try and push and close the gap a little. So it's quite an early stop. And we're going to just, as I said, close the gap a little bit. And Max Verstappen is cruising around absolutely fine. We're probably going to bring the gap closer now with Max. Don't want to push too hard. But you never know what's going to happen in this race. Latifi might put it in for a safety car. You never know. As Leclerc then right at the back of the rival. And we're not going to get held up too much. And Max Verstappen will carry on through. And will come out for mediums. And as you can see, we're behind the rival. And we're going to start pushing with Leclerc. So we're going to do 2 laps with Leclerc, followed by another 2 laps, and it's all going to be push to the max. And we've got Max Verstappen in P3, and we're going to try and keep him at the front. We're going to bring him back for some mediums. We're right on the edge of his tyre limit, as Max will peel off to the pits, like so. And Leclerc will carry on, and hopefully Max gets some, he will get some clean air. And we're going to come into the pits this lap with Leclerc. Now, what we need is Max Verstappen to close on Charles Leclerc at the front. And we should actually, we've got a good chance of getting maybe P2 in this matchup. So we're doing the 3-2-2 with Leclerc. And we're doing the 4-3 with Max as well. That's a bad line into the pit stop. Very bad line. So Leclerc's in. And the rival's got the tune-in on as well. Verstappen goes into P3, but we're going to have Leclerc now coming back out. So it's very close. We've got the rival out front. He's starting to push a bit more now as well. So we're trying our very best to put an optimum strategy through. Can Max let Leclerc through with ultimate ease? Absolutely not. I don't want to bring Max down. I shouldn't have to. He should fly through, and he does. So the rival's in the pits. He's going to come out, I expect, ahead of us as standard. We're going to get held up. It's a good strategy by the rival. It's what we like to do as well. And well, we are going to go up the inside. Oh, God's sake, Zhao, man. I can't believe Zhao absolutely blocked us from having the overtake done then. We were getting ahead of Leclerc, and Zhao absolutely put the door on us as a back marker. That's horrible. Horrible for us. And it looks like it's only going to be P3 and P4. And that's sadly all we can do. We've pushed the rival all the way. Great race. Well done, Sasha. Brilliant race. 47 for Sasha, 43 for us. And let's just check out what Sasha was running, because we couldn't keep up with that. And it was a level 8 and a level 7. And the only difference was a level 11 Spirit, a True Grit, and a level 8 Leviathan. So, we gave it a best shot and we only just lost. So fair play, great race. Race number 6 in Canada. And we've got to bounce back. And we've got a similar matchup to our team score. So it's going to be close. And we are P4 and P7. So with Charles Leclerc, we're going to go for the old tuning. And now I always lose it, and it's up here. And then for Verstappen, we're all going to go for the Kawhi. And we're going to do 4 and 4 with both. We're going to hope that we get off to a good start in this race. Could do with a 47. You never know what the rivals are going to pick up. So here we go. Race 6, and we're away. And can Charles Leclerc get a good start on the rival round the outside? And he does, and he goes up the inside of Verstappen as well, all over the back of Leclerc. Decides to then give up 2 positions, and we are back. Oh my God, this is chaos again. And it's P4 and P5, which is not good for the old strategy. We were P2 then, and suddenly ended up giving up places, which is not what we wanted. That's annoying. So as we come in to start lap 2, we're going to try and get a jump on the rival with that tuning. We're going to leave it boosting, but we can't. And suddenly now we get ahead. God, this race today is all over the place. And now Leclerc's also going off the track. And we've got the drivers the wrong way around, because we need Leclerc ahead of Verstappen when we come back for their medium tyres. So I'm going to push Leclerc and try and bring him back through. And we can get P3 as well. Can we get P2? And we can't. So we're going to cut down. And the reason I want Leclerc in front is because he's got the faster pit time over Verstappen. Although Verstappen looks to have the quicker boost. So ahead of us, we've got a soft and a hard tyre. That's why everyone's bunched together. As now Verstappen, I think ahead, tries to get the Ferrari and can't succeed. So coming on to lap 4, as these two squabble out front, Charles Leclerc is going to pick up a position and another one, and we are now P1 with Charles, and we're going to come back for medium on both drivers. So we've created a bit of a gap. We're 2.1 seconds clear, and now it's all looking a bit more rosier than it did a lap or so ago. So we're going to try and build that gap again. We're going to go all the way into the pits, full blast, and that should see us onto the mediums very nicely. 3 cars coming together, and the Mercedes. We need to jump that Mercedes. I say jump, we need to stay ahead, and we are, but we're going to get held up in the pits. So it's all fun and games at the minute, as Verstappen loses a place to Ricciardo, and I think you just know when your day is not your day, it's not your day. And we're going to hold up Russell a little bit, but Verstappen's just fell back so much in this race after them pit stops. So Leclerc goes into P1, or still P2 it says. Oh yeah, because we've got the Ferrari in front. And Verstappen now doesn't get ahead of the Mercedes. and it's P7 from now Verstappen. Leclerc's out in second, and it's just going to be very tough to the end. We're going to gain 2 more positions by the look of it, so up to P5 without having to overtake, but we need to get past Russell. So the Ferrari comes in. I don't think we're even going to jump the Ferrari in this pit stop. We're not. Oh, it's hell. This GP weekend is a write-off. No more P1s this weekend. As can we get Russell around the outside? We can't. And yet again, we're just stuck behind a car. Verstappen just can't get past whatever he tries. Not about up the inside. Nope, doesn't want to stick his nose up the inside. And what about in the last corner? Can we get it? We can't. So it's going to be P6 by the look of it. Verstappen doesn't want to risk his front nose cone. It's not like he's paying for it. And we are going to lose some points again. As we try and get P5, and we finally do. P1 and P5 now. And we're closing up on the rest of the field, but it's absolutely pointless for points. We're going to move to 44 points in this race. And we're going to get P4 on the line pretty much. So we actually get 45. 45 points, not bad, but it should have been a hell of a lot better. We were very unlucky with our race strategy there. We have Imola as race 7. And the question I've got to ask myself is it over? Or is it not over? I'm pretty sure P1 is out the question. But is even a top 3 finish out the question? Who knows? We've got to do our best, though, to keep it up and just try, and get through the rest of these races. We need to score maximum because you never know what your opponent is going to score and what issues they may have. So let's go with Imola. We're going to do a 3-2-3 and a 4-4 with Max Verstappen. P3 and P6 is our starting positions. As Leclerc hits the gas, and Leclerc around the outside straight into the lead, and Max Verstappen trying to get into the top 4, and he's pushing for it, and he gets it, and he gets the Red Bull, but can he get the Ferrari? We're going to leave him pushing for a little bit, and he can. So Max Verstappen, with the frustration of the last few races, suddenly pulls out the world championship driving that we know him for, and actually moves up to P2. So it's P1 and P2 now for the boys at AZWF1. And boy, we've let some frustration out on this video. I think one thing to remember, guys, is we're all so pressured for 47 points. Especially when you know it's what you need to get P1. But we need to just relax, chill. And what will be, will be. Because at the minute, we've got to be grateful we've got some P1s under the board, because a lot of the time there's a lot of people out there who could only dream of P1s at the moment, and we've got 2, so we've got to be grateful. So lap 3, and we're going to bring in Charles Leclerc for a medium, and it's my favourite strategy, and I'm going to start to push Max now. Ahead of us we've got the soft tyre. They'll be pitting this lap, and we'll be coming into the pits with Charles now. So in we come, and we'll get out hopefully in a nice gap, which we should. Max Verstappen may just take the lead, he does. And now Leclerc will be racing to try and build the gap, because he's going to be doing 3 laps. So we're going to do a 3-3-2 rather than a 3-2-3. My go-to strategy. And Leclerc now absolutely fine. Max Verstappen has a 5-second gap, but to a hard tyre. And he's got a 9-second gap to Max Verstappen. So that's the one we're looking at. Max tried the undercut on us, and we're going longer. But will that one lap cost Max Verstappen? He's into the pits, 4 wheels. Off they go, 3.83 seconds. And Max now out in P2. Absolutely no issues there. And we've got a decent gap then. We've got a good 3-second gap as Charles Leclerc is coming around the last part of the track to start lap 6. And with Max sitting there comfortably in P2, we're actually going to return to a 47 pointer. Is what we needed. We needed some confidence in the old tank, because we were running on empty. some hard races in this GP. So Max comes around, starts lap 6. And Charles Leclerc is on his way to pitting again for some soft tyres through to the end. And that dead fast boost working a treat. So we're going to boost Max from here. And Leclerc comes in. And 2 solid laps to go on the soft tyres for him. And he's off now, coming back out. Max Verstappen coming around the penultimate corner as Charles comes back out. So we'll boost Charles to the end. We'll boost Verstappen as long as we can. We don't really need to. But we're just coming in for a nice chilled out vibe to the end of this race. 47 points. Remember, if you've made it this far, do drop us a subscribe on the channel. We're growing every single day and I love every single one of you. And also I've got a Discord channel in the link for my server, so do drop in on that channel. It's nice to see you in there. And we're just finishing off here in lap 8. We are loving a P1 and P2. We're nearly lapping the field. Charles Leclerc is coming up to lap P10. And he will lap P10. So yeah, a good solid race this one. And Leclerc now through over the line. 47 points are in the bag for Imola. And we've got 1 race to go from Abu Dhabi, which we all know can also be an absolute pain. The final race, and if things couldn't get any worse in this GP, we're now against the Max account, just to make it that ever so more full of fun. P5 and P9, it's been a terrible, for me personally, terrible weekend for it. So never mind, it is what it is, as we say in this video. And we are going to try and pull some points back. And I just hope that I can finish this GP maybe clutching on to top 3. That would be nice. But at the end of the day, we should be top 10 either way. So hopefully we make up in the rewards on tomorrow's video. And fingers crossed we get some Leviathan, because that's what we're really missing at the minute. So as we settle down into this, Leclerc P5 coming up to the hairpin, up the inside of Hamilton, no. And he comes back out with P5. Verstappen's down to P11. And he's just not raced for me this weekend. He must have heard me quizzing him about not letting Perez go past yesterday. Or the day before. But P5 we're going to cut down, and Verstappen we're going to cut down, still in P11. So we go up against it already in here. And what have we got in front of us? We've got Lewis Hamilton on the hard tyre. And Leclerc looked like he had a bad run through that last corner there. So we got to just try and get past Lewis at some point. Maybe down here. Nice little lunge by Leclerc would go a treat down here. There we go. That's, oh God, what's that corner in? P4 now for Charles. And we slowly move our way back up the field. P1, he's got mediums. So he might be able to do a little undercut on P1 and close the gap. So here we go. We're coming into a crucial part of this race. And somehow Max Verstappen has got to P14. I wasn't watching, but somehow we're P14. Oh, what a weekend, guys. So, come on, Max. Get your act together then. Let's get you up the field and see if we can get you at least into the top 5. It's been a strange one. So, Charles pits. He should get ahead of the Red Bull. We're not taking servicing, and we are. So, we're ahead of Verstappen. And Verstappen's down to 15th now. What is going on? What is going on with Max Verstappen? It's very, very unusual. And we're back up to P11. And look, he hasn't even took that corner. Max is broke. Max is officially broke in this game on this race. And we are P10. And we barely got through. It's been a very, very weird one. We can't win them all. But we can show what we can do from difficult positions. So Charles Leclerc, right on the back of Hamilton. Can't send one up the inside. Can't get ahead of the hard tyres, either of the rival. So we're going to come... Oh, now we cut off by the rival. and then we can't get past either. Oh, he's just not wanting to overtake. Verstappen comes out P15. And we're going to come in the pits with Leclerc this lap. And he gets back into P3, but it's only because there's a bit of a team ordering. And Hamilton pits as well. And Hamilton's absolutely slammed the brakes on because he's run out of tyres. That's our luck there. Verstappen's got a queue behind him. And we're going to be coming out behind the other Mercedes as well. So even Charles is getting a really bad position there. There's no pit stops at the moment. And we're going to score quite badly here. Just to finish off a frustrating weekend. And it can't go smoothly all the time. That's clear to see. So Max comes down P15. We've got Charles all the way back of Hamilton. And we need to get rid of Hamilton ASAP. And look at that for a line by Charles. It's just not good enough. And again, it's just not happening at all. Can we go up the inside? Of course we can't. I mean, Hamilton is on the hard tyre and we can't get past him here. Yet again, look, we're absolutely blocked out. Charles Leclerc. Verstappen getting blocked out by Ocon as we finally get past. And now we're up to P6 with Leclerc. What a difficult day in the office of F1 Clash. We're going to get P5, but we've got barely any fuel left. So that's going to be a hard one to fight. But we're going to try and keep hold of it. So a bad matchup playing a Max account. And we've also had just a very bad gameplay for this race. But let me know how you get on in the comments. Let me know how you've done this weekend. Was it as bad as mine, or have you actually done pretty well? As we come along the line, P5 for Leclerc. Verstappen still trying to absolutely no point. But we're across the line now anyway, P11. Shocking. Absolute shocking. But there we go. That's the end of final round. A bit of a dooms merchant on that one. It's been terrible. And we've got 34 points in Abu Dhabi. Absolutely brilliant. But there we go. Unlucky in that. 355 points. Not going to be good enough to hold top 3 at all. And that's how we set up. Shocking. But as always, we'll move on. We'll come back next weekend stronger. And I'll hopefully see you with us as well. As always, I'll catch you in the next one.